Imagine two people. Let's call them Alex and Ben. Both are 25 years old. Both have the same job. Both earn exactly the same amount of money. Fast forward 20 years. Alex is constantly worried about bills. Ben has savings, investments, and freedom. What happened? Did Ben win the lottery? Did he inherit money? No. The difference started with a few small decisions that most people never think about. And that's exactly why most people stay broke. Not because they're lazy, not because they're stupid, but because they follow patterns that quietly keep them stuck. Let's start with the first one. Most people think the problem is not earning enough. They say things like, if I made another $1,000 per month, everything would be different. But here's the uncomfortable truth. For many people, more income doesn't solve the problem. It simply upgrades the problem. A person earning $1,500 per month struggles. Then they get a raise and start earning $3,000. For a moment, life is easier. Then they move to a more expensive apartment, buy a better car, subscribe to more services, eat out more often, and suddenly that extra income disappears. Their lifestyle rises just as fast as their salary. This is called lifestyle inflation. The more you earn, the more you spend. And before you know it, you're living paycheck to paycheck again, just with nicer stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with enjoying your money. The problem is when every increase in income automatically becomes an increase in spending. Because then you're running on a treadmill. You're moving faster, but you're not actually getting anywhere. The second reason people stay broke is that they confuse looking rich with being rich. Think about the wealthiest person you know. Do they wear designer clothes every day? Drive the newest car every year? Show off every purchase on social media? Maybe. But often, the truly wealthy people are surprisingly boring. Meanwhile, many people spend huge amounts of money trying to look successful. Expensive phones, expensive clothes, expensive cars, all purchased with money they don't actually have. Or worse, money they borrowed. The result? They own impressive things, but those things own them right back. Monthly payments, interest charges, debt, stress. Real wealth isn't what people see. Real wealth is what people don't see. It's the money in your savings account. The investments growing quietly in the background, the ability to survive 6 months without a paycheck. That's wealth. And it rarely looks exciting. The third reason people stay broke is because they delay learning about money. Think about it. Most people spend years learning math, history, science, geography, but almost no time learning how money actually works. Nobody teaches them budgeting, investing, compound growth, or debt management. So they enter adulthood making financial decisions with almost no financial education. Imagine trying to drive a car without ever learning how the steering wheel works. That's how many people handle money. They learn through mistakes. Unfortunately, some of those mistakes are expensive. Now let's talk about something incredibly powerful, compound growth. This concept sounds boring, but it changes lives. Imagine you save a small amount of money every month, not a fortune, just a consistent amount. Then you invest it, the money starts generating returns, then those returns generate returns, and those returns generate even more returns. At first, nothing seems to happen. Months go by, maybe years. Progress feels slow. Many people quit here. But eventually, something interesting happens. Growth starts accelerating. What looks like a tiny snowball becomes an avalanche. The problem is that most people want immediate results. Humans are naturally impatient. We want rewards now, not 10 years from now. That's why people often choose short-term pleasure over long-term wealth. Which brings us to another reason people stay broke. They spend first and save what's left. The problem? There's usually nothing left. A paycheck arrives, bills get paid, shopping happens, restaurants happen, random purchases happen, and by the end of the month, the money is gone. Then they promise themselves they'll save next month, but next month looks exactly the same. People who build wealth often do the opposite. They save first. Even if it's a small amount, then they spend what's left. It sounds simple because it is, Simple doesn't mean easy though, but it works. Now let's address something important. Not everyone who struggles financially is making bad choices. Life can be incredibly difficult. Medical emergencies happen, job losses happen, unexpected expenses happen. Economic conditions matter, luck matters, opportunities matter. Some people are carrying challenges that others never have to face. But even within difficult circumstances, financial habits still matter. The habits won't solve every problem, but they can make a bad situation better, or a good situation much worse. Finally, there's one more reason people stay broke. They believe someone else will eventually save them. A future promotion, a future business, a future opportunity, a future miracle. And while they're waiting, they do nothing. No learning, no saving, no planning, no action. The truth is that financial freedom rarely arrives in one dramatic moment. It's usually built quietly, one decision at a time, 1 month at a time, 1 year at a time. Most people imagine wealth as a giant leap, but in reality, it's often thousands of tiny steps. And that's actually good news, because it means you don't need to be a millionaire tomorrow, you don't need a perfect plan, you don't need a 6-figure income, you just need to start moving in the right direction. Save a little, learn a little, invest a little, improve a little, then repeat, over and over again. The people who become financially secure aren't always the smartest, or the luckiest, or the highest earners. They are often just the people who consistently do small things that most people ignore. And that's why most people stay broke. Not because wealth is impossible, but because the habits required to build it are simple, boring, and invisible. And unfortunately, boring habits rarely go viral. But they do build wealth, one day at a time.